Hello there everybody and welcome to a game called Stalker. It is currently a Kickstarter game that has a demo that's been released, and I thought I'd show you guys it because I think it's actually really quite good. So Stalker is created by Radhood, and it's a survivor roguelike, kind of similar to the Vampire Survivors or those genres. But you have a Slay of the Spire type map, you can synergize your weapons, you can progress by unlocking weapons, items, etc, etc. And the graphics are like a 2D, 3D Paper Mario style, which is pretty cool. So we're going to have a look, and we're going to go through all the different characters, but we're going to look at one in particular today. Just the starter one here, Gale, a wandering mercenary, where the stat changes have 10% more impact. And you can see here that there are loads of characters eventually to unlock. And they have all their stats on the side. Oops, let's go back here quickly. Got all their stats on the side, and you can read over what exactly it does. Like Dex affects weapon cooldowns, secondary, so similar to Brotato as well, which I think it is also inspired by. So we'll start with Gale, and then we've got our starting weapons that we can pick. I think I'm just going to go with... the Steady Blade, because that sounds pretty cool. And then let's go for Fury Helm, which is a trinket. Increases your power by 16.5%, but decreases projectile aim by 22%. And we'll start with difficulty level 1, and you can see this goes up all the way to 2 in the demo at the moment. So let's just start with that, just so we can go through the different mechanics. So as you see here, this is our Slay the Spire style map. It's a bit of a tongue twister. You can see we've got elite indicators here. These are all our different rest spots. And then our final boss over here. So the demo only has the first floor, which is fine because it is a demo. And I think it is coming pretty soon if we have a look at the Kickstarter timeline in just a bit. And we got our weapon over there. So we'll just start over here in case we decide we want to go for that elite early on. We may not. And then you can see the little paper graphics there. There we go. And then we're just going to be attacking. Nice and easy. There you go. It's all automatic, so you don't really have to aim, which is nice. We got to be careful of those projectiles. There we go. This, for some reason, this particular map, out of all of them, lags for me. I don't know why. There has been no other performance issues except for this one map, which is the strangest thing ever. So there you go. We're dealing our damage. You can see we can collect all these coins, which we need for our upgrades and things like that. Oopsie, there we go. Nice. Then we'll just quickly grab that. You can see we're losing health quite a bit. But doesn't really help trying to dodge projectiles when you're lagging like crazy. So, similar to Brotato, we've got a 4-item upgrade essentially here that we can pick. I'm going to go for... Let's go for the crit chance. That's always a nice one to go for. Come over here to the fireplace. And this is where we get to pick a few more items. So we can have 4 weapons essentially. And what we can do is we can get, for example, the axe scale. That will go up there. Burning blade, shock bracelet. Let's go for all of those. Now we're maxed out. Increase our power. Why not? And then we'll finish off there. I'm not going to reroll, even though it's free, because I believe the reroll cost increases, but it doesn't reset in between waves, for example. There we go. As you can see, we're on a different map now, and the lag is completely gone. I don't know what it is about that, to be honest, but it is quite good. So because it's still a very early demo, it's an alpha demo, there are a few things that I would potentially say are issues that need fixing. One of them is actually the collision masks. So over here, for example, if you're at a tree and you run up, you can't run left or right. Now, I would assume that you would be able to just like press up and it will slowly move you to the side. So I don't know if that's because the collision mask of these obstacles are like squares rather than circles. I'm not sure, but the enemies can get stuck on that one as well. And that's where it's a bit awkward. So we're going to go for some Dex here, because that decreases our cooldowns. Force, I believe, increases the speed in which your projectiles go. Yeah. Range, obviously, just increases the size of your attacks, which is also pretty good, actually. That's a level 3 range. I'm going to go for that. Then let's go to a campfire. Now you can see here, this is another weapon. We can't do anything there, but we could sell it. You can see we can sell our weapons here in case there's something that we want a little bit better. The one bit that I feel is missing from this is being able to merge. So if you had two of the same weapons, I don't know if you can put them together or not yet. So let's have a look. Does this do... You can go to your weapon info here, so you can see anything that you need. Attacks in a circle around you, slashes, doing more crit damage. Smites your surrounding area with lightning, so you can see the type that it is as well. It's a spawn type. There we go. So it increases your crit chance by 16.5, but reduces power by 11%. I think I'm okay with that. And then Fury Helm, more power, but less aim, which is fine. Then we can reroll here. Let's have a look. Slashes nearby enemies. Applies bleed, which takes 2 points of damage. I actually think I'm going to sell the shock bracelet to buy this one. And then let's have a look. We could either go for... Well, we can only go for the cool fire, so we'll do that. Alright, so there's still a lot of items that need to be added. You can see that generally we'll have the same items appear in the shops, but there's been a few runs where I haven't seen some items. So there's an okay amount of item pool at the moment. And there we go. So we got some new enemies at the moment. Again, notice no lag on this map. So it seems to be that beach one that always does it for me. And I'm not sure why exactly, but it does. And we got to just be a little bit careful of our health, because you tend to regen at the end of the wave. You can see that healing circle that comes around us towards the end. Then the coins. One thing to note about the coins as well is if you don't pick them up, I believe there's a chance that you can pick them up at the end, or you can lose them. I haven't got... Yeah, so we lost that one and we picked up that one over there. So just something to think about. Prosperity increases the amount of gold we get from those gold pickups, essentially. So we'll take a little bit of that. Sure. Go to our campfire. So this life blade, the claws that nearby enemies scales with health. That's quite cool. The burning blade, you can see level 1. If we buy that now, it goes up to level 2. Which is pretty cool. Have we got any offhand chance to bleed? Nope. So the offhand chance is essentially any weapon that doesn't apply bleed, we can give it a chance to apply bleed now. Which I quite like that. Let's re-roll, see if we can get something else. Nice, we can upgrade our axe. Anything else? Nope, so we'll finish up there. I would like to know if there is a way that we can lock in the items. That'd be good if that is an option in the final game, because sometimes there's been cases where I haven't been able to afford a weapon, for example, that I really wanted. Or it's one that I needed for an upgrade, and you just can't lock it in, and then you lose it. So I'm hoping that's an option. And see, there's the example of the enemies stuck as well. Now, if that collision box on that thing here was... Well, not on here, actually. If they were both circle, instead of, like, square collision boxes, I don't know how the game works in the background. They should be able to walk around it. There's been a few enemies that kind of get stuck on these. See, there we go. There's another one there. So it's small things like that that, I mean, I'm really trying to pick. I'm really trying to find some feedback here, but I mean, I just really like I like the art style. The music is really, really good. Don't need the force. Let's go for a little bit of extra regen, shall we? And I think we'll come up this way, so we have the choice of dodging that elite if we want to. Full fire, power, trading card. I've played a couple of these, rounds, and the trading card is... I like it. I do like it. Now, this dexterity spot, this is a nice item. So it spawns a field in the middle, increases your dex by 100%, which we know decreases the cooldowns of our weapons, but then it also decreases dex by 33% if you're not in it, essentially. So let's grab that. Let's upgrade our steady blade. See, so for example here, I would really have liked to have got quick eye or power, but we can't lock it in. So one thing to note, let's try the boss, shall we? Or the elites. So the elites come in a couple different forms. There are various elites that you can fight. There's also, I believe, an elite horde wave. Or at least that's what I thought it was, because there was no actual boss. It was just swarms and swarms of monsters that gave us an incredible amount of gold, which was great. It's really, really worthwhile. But it was hard. There we go. So we're going to just see we're taking quite a bit of damage, but we'll stay in the middle here. The visuals of that elite. So there's a couple things with this elite one as well. Is you can see the arenas moving in here. Really good. But if you get bouncing projectiles, they have to bounce off this outside wall, which I think is a bit unfortunate, because then you lose a lot of DPS time. If you're a ranged character, you use a lot of DPS time. And then, yeah, you're just kind of stuck in this little hole with all your projectiles everywhere else. So there's something like that, for example. Increase enemies by 16.5% and magnification by 1. Power is decreased. I'm going to go for bone marrow. More percent chance to bleed. I think the other one is better. Alright, here's a nice one. So I just want to double check. What is our off chance? 11%. So I'm going to get 2 of these frozen fish. Increase our crit chance by a lot. Bleed deals an extra damage. Enemies that die because of bleed explode. Sure. Reroll. Power, 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 power. Yeah. That's fine with me. Very happy with that. Alright, let's go. Let's go to this guy. I feel good about this one. Please don't have... Okay, so there's projectiles on this one. But we're doing good damage, so I'm not too worried. And you can see when those guys are about to fire projectiles, so that's a good thing. They do kind of charge up. There we go. So we're just going to stand here for a second. So there we go. They were launching their projectile there. There we go. Boop, boop, boop. Only thing I will say is I do think some of the animations might be over the top. So when you see those big bleed explosions like that, that is quite a large animation. And then we've also got the projectiles, which are noticeable. Let's go for more crit damage, shall we? Then we'll go for the final rest, and then we will fight the first floor boss. Max concentration. You love to see it. That increases our crit damage. More power. Let's reroll, see if we can get anything else. Increase our crit chance. Sure. There we go. So that's our build for the moment. I quite like it. And we'll go over to this elite fight. There we go. He's going to spawn on top of us. So I think this is the only final boss of this floor. I haven't had another one that I'm aware of. Which, as you can see, we did manage to do quite well with some of the items that we got. So it's not that big of a deal for us. There we go. Nice. And there we go. That is victory for the demo for the moment. There we go. I like it. So let's quickly head over to their Kickstarter. I definitely think this is worth having a look at. So we've still got 15 days to go, so I would highly recommend you guys checking it out. The link will be in the description below. You can see here they give you as much information as you need. It's coming to Switch as well, which is pretty cool. You can see everything, all the different features, what's going to happen. I believe there was also the ability to merge weapons, which I think is great. I'm curious to see what kind of weapons that's going to be. I think there's more floors. It doesn't say how many floors, which is pretty cool. We've got the Ascension system, which is going to basically make things a little bit harder. See elites, enemies, campfires, bosses. Oh, there you go. The final boss of each 3 acts. There we go. Yeah, there's just loads of information here. The music is really good. I think they've done a great thing here. All the different characters. And this is a very important one to have a look at. So the timeline. So the Kickstarter is now. Then April is the early access start, and you can get that as part of one of the pledges. You can get access to that. Then later on in the year, they're launching into early access and then full release next year. So it's a pretty strict timeline, which I think will be quite good. There we go. And then these are all the extra rewards you can have. It's pretty nice. Loads and loads of details, which you can see here. Having a Steam key is $5, which I think is about £5. £4.50. That's basically the same price as a normal one of these games, which I think is good. Exclusive character. And can we just highlight here that this is Kickstarter exclusive Ghost character. I know it's the protagonist of the Outbound Ghost, one of Conrad's games, but it's a ghost character? Like, come on. You gotta back it just for that, right? But yeah, and then there's loads of things. Designing enemies, designing weapons, pets, better soul stalkers, just everything. The amount of work that they've put into this is really, really, really impressive. So definitely go check them out on Kickstarter. Have a good read. Back them if you can. That would be really appreciated. Play the demo, wishlist the game on Steam. All of the links will be down below. Let's get this one. Let's get this one going. It's already funded as well, which is a good thing. But we want to get to those milestones because I think there's going to be things like modded support, which would be pretty good. Just trying to think where it was. Stretch goals. So when we get to 10k, there's modded support. That is already a huge, huge thing. And then there's loads of extras that we could potentially do. So right, that's Soul Stalker. I'm going to be playing this every day. It's not going to replace Brotato. It's going to be a secondary little mini series that we'll do. We'll just do 1 character per day. So it'll be about 10 minutes. And yeah, we'll see what it's all about. But with that, guys, thank you very much. If you did like it, definitely remember, like, comment, subscribe, check them out, etc., etc. Oh, look, someone else has just subscribed. There we go. And I will catch you all in the next one. Bye for now.